The desert isn't supposed to look like this. For most of the year, the Atacama is a world of silence. Wind, stone, and heat. But every so often, when the rain remembers its way here, the land awakens, color spills across the sand. Fragile and defiant. A reminder that even the driest places still hold something waiting to live. For those who come here searching for copper, for opportunity, for understanding, it's easy to forget that water shapes everything. It gives life. It takes it. And in a place like this, where water is as rare as mercy, its value can't be measured in barrels or shares. This is Chile's north, where the earth is rich, the air is dry, and the stories of scarcity are written in every grain of dust. We come here to see what possibility looks like when the desert blooms.
All right, what are your first impressions of Santiago?
Yeah, no, it's great. Feels a lot like Buenos Aires. I think the biggest thing that stands out is you're right in the middle of the mountains here on the coast. There's not too many places in the world, at least that I've been, that you get to see this sort of landscape in amongst the major cities. So it's quite the thing. It's like a contrast between Vancouver, Buenos Aires, maybe a little bit of Brazilian influence, because that's where I've spent a lot of time. But you have palm trees and mountains, snow-capped mountains at that, all in the same vicinity. It's a real contrast.
So, well, all of this comes back to 1541. Pedro Valdivia, the founder of Santiago, came here and climbed all the way to here, this pile of rocks, which was dry, and he said, well, this is a strategic place. Nothing happened here in 300 years until 1872, when Benjamin Vicuna, the governor of Santiago, they brought architects to build the fountains, and that was a cultural change. And this is a very relevant place to Santiago and the history of Chile.
We're here to see a mining operation, and water is a big part of the story.
Wow.
Or the lack of water and how you get access to water.
So it was a cultural change that made people come here. I mean, we brought European architects, and well, all the fountains come from France. So it's, yeah.
Walking these streets for the first time, everything hits you at once. The sounds, the smells, the way the light moves across the buildings. And all this sits against the backdrop of the mountains that surround the city. It gives Santiago a sense of scale you feel right away. You start picking up on the small things. A balcony with peeling paint, a stand selling handmade goods, familiar brands in stores you wouldn't expect to see this far from home. Little signals that Chile is more connected. In the town squares, there's a steady pulse of life. People take their time with coffee, musicians set up, vendors call out over the background hum. There's a rhythm here, unhurried, intentional. And as the day goes on, you feel the city stretching out. And what I've come to appreciate about downtown Santiago is the sense of discovery. Every corner feels like a reveal. Food stands, tiny restaurants, street performers, but also these contrasts between the older parts of the city, where the remnants of past protests still linger, and the newer districts that feel modern and relaxed. And through all of it, you're reminded that people everywhere are more alike than different. Whether it's Santiago, Buenos Aires, or Sao Paulo, the rhythms feel very familiar. The Central Market isn't just a building. It feels like the city's heartbeat under a roof. And the first thing that hits you is the smell. Fresh fish on ice, the briny air from the stalls, and the mix of everything happening just outside. Inside, the pace is fast. Vendors working knives with effortless practice motion. Water running across the floors. You can tell who's been doing this for decades just by the way they move. Steady, confident, almost instinctual.
If you want to get something fresh, here's where you come.
Okay.
Where's the visiting from?
Canada.
Hey, where the best hockey players at? Vancouver,
right.
the best bars, restaurants, and everything. If I have a second, can I show you one?
Sure, yeah.
Here, follow me. Canada. Woo. Look at all the beautiful restaurants we got. Everybody comes here to try this. Are you guys ready? This is the smallest one we have. We have bigger ones than this. We got like triple size. They're cooked on white wine. Then we cut it right in front of you guys. We do like a surgery. We take all the meat out and put it right in front of you with melted butter and garlic. Look at our lobsters. Hey, disculpa, limão. Oh, sorry, man. Different. Chile is a very thin country.
Yeah.
Full of water, full of Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
So we're very blessed. We have like sea bass, tuna, abalone, squid, giant tuna, surfing. You know, look, I want to show you guys 1 second. They're preparing the starters. Like some people like to ask empanada to start.
Yeah.
Like a shrimp and cheese empanada. Then at the end, it's like a sea bass.
Right.
Oh, it's great, my friend.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Well, you're welcome. Nice to meet you. Thank you for the time.
Yeah.
I am Sebastian. I'm in charge of this business. In case you guys ever hungry, you invited.
Thank you very much.
Sir, nice to meet you. You all too, okay? All drinks in the house for you boys.
The people are warm, curious, and more than happy to see a camera. They wave you over, offer you something to try.
In Central Market, 50 years old.
Oh, wow.
50 years, at the first restaurant. Follow me. Thank you, beautiful.
Everyone has a connection back to the sea. Stories about their fathers, a great catch, or some celebrity who wandered through one day.
Very older place. Very, 50 years
So it starts at lunchtime, though.
Yes.
That's when people come in.
all people from Chile. People from Chile come to the Central Market for eating Donde Augusto's classic restaurant.
Right.
Yes, classic restaurant.
We're very much central downtown, too, right? Okay.
You realize quickly that this place isn't just where Santiago buys food. It's where it breathes. Every sound, every smell, every smile. It all unfolds into a sense that the city's pulse starts right here. And between the seafood stalls, there's this burst of color. Piles of lemons, avocados, chilies stacked high like little mountains. Vendors calling out prices, handing you samples with a grin. It's louder, brighter, closer than you expect. Everything feels alive. Near the fish and fruit markets, there's an area that feels more like a food court. Vendors serving local dishes alongside their own take on international staples.
My name is Jimi Hendrix.
Brian,
Brian. TikTok.
YouTube.
YouTube. ¿Cómo es su nombre? Muy bien. Hey!
Nice to meet you.
Jimi Hendrix.
And knowing I was coming to Chile, I wanted to make sure I tried something local and a little unique, which meant trying a fully loaded hot dog called a completo. Avocado, tomatoes, mayonnaise, sauerkraut. It's incredibly messy, piled high, and honestly, surprisingly good. Spending time in the markets really grounded me for this episode. The smells, the people, the energy, all before we headed out to site. Flying north, you start to understand why Chile feels like its own world. Mountains on one side, ocean on the other, and everything in between shifting in color like a slow fade. Watching footage, reading about the Atacama, nothing really prepares you for it. It's another thing entirely when the plane drops through the clouds and you see the desert stretching out forever. Stepping off the plane, the air hits you, dry and thin. Even the wind feels different here. It's been carrying the same dust for 1,000 years. While driving across the desert, the landscape keeps changing on you. One minute it's rock and sand, the next it's hills carved by time. And every now and then, a town that feels like it shouldn't exist in a place this harsh. By the time that you reach Villanar, you realize something, that this isn't just a backdrop for a mining story. It's a place people depend on, adapt to, and carve a life out in. And the more you travel through it, the more you want to understand it, what it gives, and what it costs to be here.
Here in Villanar, which is in super close proximity to Productora and Huasco, which we're going to go see today for lunch, and the port that the future concentrate will be exported from. Looking forward to the day.
Well guys, now we are going to Productora project. So from the hotel here we are taking the Ruta 5, the same route that we came from Copiapó to Vallenar, and it's around like 35-40 minutes getting to the project.
Yeah.
Well, the company started 2010 listing in the TSXV, but we start drilling here in Productora project in 2011. So we arrive from the northern part of the project, and you can see all the path has been the drilling that we have done in the north-south Productora structure, main breccia footprint. And it's a good point here because also, well, you can see there the facilities that we have. And we started exploration, as I say, between 2011, 2016, that we delivered the PFS. When we are going to take the other point, you will see the quantity of path because we have been drilling here. The resource has more than 280,000 meters of drilling, nearly 300,000 meters of drilling. And that's why you see all these different pans in all the breccia and also the other porphyry that we have, that is the Alice porphyry. So now we will get closer and see it. You can see all the strike of the Productora is a tourmaline breccia deposit, copper, gold, molybdenum, and that has like a footprint of 8 kilometers. The main deposit at the planned open pit is around like 2 kilometers. And you can see that we started with different campaigns of surface mapping, soil sampling. We have been covered all the area. Other thing that we have been doing is trying to consolidate all the tenements and the mining concessions to grow and do all this exploration. It's a structural control deposit, Productora, so that's why you can see all the different paths and the spacing of the drill paths. And in this part, in front of just like 500 meters, you have the other deposit that is Alice, that is a small copper porphyry. All this we are in the Cretaceous. So we are in this that after that Miguel will explain all the regional geology, that all these deposits are related to the Atacama Fault system. So here we are in all this boundary we are in the Costa Cordillera, just at 750 meters above sea level. And we are in this boundary between the Atacama Fault system and the Coastal Cordillera.
And can we see, this is a portal here, and we can see
there's been past production at some scale.
Yes, we have here like two mines. The first one is Productora, that you have this subsidence area. The both are underground mines. This started before 2007, 2008. All this with high-grade copper, more than like 1% that is sent to Vallenar, to the NAMI plant that support the local miners. They process all the local miners' products. And after that, in 2020, we did a contract with NAMI because they need more minerals. So a local miner came in Santa Ynez, this is Santa Ynez area. So they were taking really low material, like less than 2,000 tons, per month. But for us, was a really good opportunity to do like a kind of exploration and confirmation of the research that we have done and the drilling, because this underground mine, Miguel was mapping, and was supporting these local miners. Yes. So we know how the breccia is in this area. So it was a really good confirmation of the research to really work with this local miner, and this was like a 1-year contract that we did.
Bulk sample.
Yeah, exactly.
To add context, Productora now boasts a mineral resource of 300 million tons, the majority of that being in the indicated category, with a grade close to 0.5% copper equivalent. Going a step further, this translates into almost 1.5 million tons of copper equivalent metal.
This is the geology map of the Productora. It's a summary of the geology. Essentially, the Productora is related to the volcanic art, Jurassic and Cretacic time, and it's a structural breccia, hydrothermal breccia with tourmaline, chalcopyrite, and pyrite, relate to the north, south, and west or northwest trend. In some section, it's very good to see the distribution of the breccia. Essentially, is separate this breccia is separated in 5 different type of the breccia. Some relate to or not the mineralization. Yeah.
And this mineralization is pretty close to surface too.
It's pretty close to surface. Yeah. In some part, this is occur in the surface.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so infrastructure-wise, and based on what we publish in the PFS of Costa Fuego through the 43101 technical report, Productora is the center of the operation of the Costa Fuego, and the reason of that is the critical. Yeah, I mean the critical area, because even if the Productora pit analysis probably it has around 50% of the mineral reserves, the main infrastructure is located here. So Productora, it will be a big pit from the south to the north around that point. And Alice Pit is that hill right there, So the open pit for Productora are designed for having 5 pushbacks. Okay. So and the 6th will be Alice. This around in the middle of the mine plan.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's from a mining point of view. But the other thing is also, is we have the waste dumps located right here. So we have one, to that direction, to the north of the main pit, and the main one is in that direction there to the southwest.
Right.
Okay, so that's the open pit and the waste dumps.
Wow. And it's kind of jumping into the future. It may not happen, but you've also got Verde, which could be a part of this operation in some front end, back end. Personally, as an investor, I'd like to see it on the front end, but it's a possibility too to feed into this processing plant.
Absolutely. Okay. And that's part of the strategy, and probably we have defined a value engineer phase that obviously that topic will be absolutely addressed, and we will see where is the best time to get into Costa Fuego, or probably can be considered an expansion, in the future. But that's the plan.
Excellent.
Productora is the center of mass for Costa Fuego. It hosts the largest copper and gold resource in the district, and it's where the main processing facility, the concentrator, will be built. Its scale, along with its proximity to the highway, power, and coastal infrastructure, gives it the advantages most copper and gold projects simply don't have. And that matters. Logistics can make or break a development story. Here, they tilt the odds in Hot Chili's favor.
No, it's not necessary. Yeah. Tomorrow.
Okay, start with the oxides.
Yeah, this is the principal hole in the middle of the Productora breccia. Yeah. In this part is typical of the mineralization of the oxide in fracture. Yeah. This is the color of this black color is a tourmaline. Yeah, exactly. Wow. This is a very good oxide specimen, the different chrysocolla, malachita, in some part chalcocite in the deep of the hole, but this is the color, the typical color of the hydrothermal breccia. Here is possible to see the oxide with the different alteration. The color, this is the pink color, is related to the feldspar. And here, the oxide in this part in the fracture, and here the oxide is smiling in the matrix.
Right.
Yeah, this is the more part in the deep. Yeah, this is a dike. This is a lake dike that cut the principal mineralization, and in some part is rich in oxide. Yeah, this is the texture of the breccia.
Right, the breccia, yeah.
Is great to the different.
Wow.
Yeah, we separate in the detail mapping. We separate different stages of breccia. This is more chaotic, and look the fracture with oxide. This is the class of the host rock. This is a volcanic, dacitic, and rhyodicitic volcanic rocks, totally altered with feldspar and albite. Yeah. And look, this is the color, and this part is more rich in. This is transitional material in the oxide and sulfur. The principal mineralization is chalcopyrite and pyrite.
What kind of grades are we getting in this?
1 and 1.5% of copper. Yeah, and it's very good. The soluble copper is very, very good. And in the principal breccia, the percentage in sulfide is 1%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seeing Productora gives you a real sense of what's possible out here. You look at the ridges, the core samples, the scale of it all, and you start to understand why it's the centerpiece of Costa Fuego. Costa Fuego is almost at the point where plans become real work on the ground. But even here, it takes time, money, patience, and a lot of things to line up. What you get at this stage is the shift from possibility to preparation, and the people pushing it across that line. It's a good reminder that mining isn't just geology. It's hard work, risk, and long bets in many places that may not give you anything else easily. Before heading out into the desert, before the long drives and the drill core, the trip started in Santiago. I like to spend a couple days in the main city whenever I visit a new country. It gives you a feel for the place, the food, the pace, the people. One of the best attractions we experienced was the funicular or gondola ride to see San Cristobal, which is a modern and fun way to see the layout of a city from above. Very touristy, sure, but sometimes that's exactly the point. You get a real sense of scale from up there. It's that moment when you realize how big the place really is and how little you've actually seen. After a while, we head towards one of those stands selling monteconocidos, peach and barley in a cup of cold, sweet syrup. It's the kind of drink that sounds strange until you try it, and then suddenly it makes perfect sense.
Tastes good. Pretty sweet. I'm not sure if you actually eat the peach.
Simple, refreshing, a whole little culture lesson in a plastic cup. From there, we grabbed the gondola down the other side of the hill. The ride felt slower than it probably was. Floating above parks, bike paths, and watching the city move underneath us. Starting the trip this way helped ground everything. A few days walking the city, trying the food, figuring out how it all works, gave me a baseline for the rest of the week before heading north to site. Freirina isn't the kind of place you just pass through. It's a small, quiet town with friendly people. Simple shops, and a pace that feels slower, yet steady. Folks look you in the eye, say hello, and carry on with their day. It's also home to the orphanage that Hot Chili supports, a cause that in my view really matters. When it's planned properly, it can drive infrastructure and support the communities around it.
It's quite sweet.
Okay.
And this is guayaba, kind of.
Passion fruit. Yeah, maracuja is Portuguese. Yeah.
But
These are small though, aren't they?
Yes, because this is the Chilean papaya. So this is the export, because in this season we don't have like watermelon.
Yeah.
It's normally more in summertime. In 2 months more you will have. So this is for also this banana is for fry.
The plantain.
Yeah, this one.
Where's this from then? Is this from Chile or is this from...
No, this is for export now. This is I don't know where, probably from Peru. Yes, from Peru.
Okay.
Normally all the like bananas we bring from Peru.
Okay.
Yeah. Halloween mask.
Yeah.
All are following Halloween because it's in 2 weeks. Yes. So.
Community is such a big part of any mining development project these days. In particular for Hot Chili, Costa Fuego impacts 3 specific communities in this valley. Can you take us through that impact and how you guys are trying to play a role in making things better for the people that you are going to be developing beside?
Okay, so the Huasco Valley is composed by 4 municipalities. It's Alto del Carmen, Vallenar, Freirina, and Huasco, and we impact the last 3 of them. So we've started doing an early citizen participation since we arrived here in the region 15 years ago. We started working with local child residences, like doing workshops to their caregivers and also teachers. And for us, it's really important to be a good neighbor, right? So that's why we do different activities to inform the whole community of the status of our project. Also, we have regular meetings with them, but also from the point of view of development, we want this region to grow, right? And so our objective is to give people the tools they need to grow and to the valley to develop, right? So that's the line of our programs, and one of our most important programs is the well-being program, which is it has focused on mental health, right? So in the pandemics, we saw an opportunity to help people with remote mental health consultation, and now we took one step ahead, and we come here. We have a mental health team here in Vallenar, and we're doing all we can to help in that aspect. That's really important for these people, right?
Talking about the communities across Chile, how does this area of Chile compare to the rest in terms of economics?
In terms of economics, the Huasco Valley is a really poor area. We have a lot of unemployment here. So actually, the potential of Costa Fuego is to give local employment. So we want to give that opportunity to the people here that are mostly miners, actually, because this was a miner and is a miner zone.
What about the water side of things? You know, definitely a mining operation is going to provide jobs, which trickles down to the economics and very good things. And the offshoots of, you know, the mental health aspects you talked about and the different initiatives with the communities. But what about water? Water would seemingly be at that high priority list in terms of what the impact to a community.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why Huasco Water is a project that will eventually, in the third stage, help the community of the whole Huasco Valley, that is a very dry valley, to have water. So it has a social component that's very important for us.
So as soon as we knew we were going to be working in La Verde, we approached the nearest community, which is Domeco, and to introduce ourselves and to get to know the people here. We offered them our social program, and now many of the neighbors are part of our mental health program.
In the towns along the Huasco Valley, you can feel Hot Chili's presence in ways that go beyond the project itself. It's in the classrooms, in the community programs, in the people who rely on that support every day. It's refreshing to see a company this size investing in parts of the community that are easy to overlook. Hot Chili isn't just talking about community, they're investing in it for the long run.
Gracias por recibir.
Hola.
Ryan.
Katy.
So we're in a very special place. Where are we and what does it have to do with Hot Chili?
So now we're at El Olivillo School. It's a school for kids with special needs.
¿Viste esa cámara?
We have here children from 3 to 24 years old. And we've been working with them for years now. Our specialists from the mental health program work with the teachers here, so they prepare them to face all the situations that they have here, and also with the children and with their families. So our approach here, of course, is how mining can make a difference in community. This is a school that doesn't have many resources, so of course we do what we can with our team, and we love coming here. The kids are so grateful always. You see that they speak some English, and yeah, we're doing all we can to help here and be a part of this community.
They are genuinely happy to see you, so
Yes.
You're clearly making a positive impact.
They are. We love to come here. It's truly one of the things that makes us very passionate about this job, like the difference that we can make. So that's one of the main points of this.
Seeing the school and the impact a new mine can have is a reminder that these projects aren't just about copper, water, or engineering. They're about communities. They're about people. When you stop and look around, there's clearly a lot of potential here. But turning that potential into something real takes time, patience, and care. Huasco sits at the edge of the Pacific, where the desert meets the sea and the Huasco River cuts through the valley. It's a quiet coastal town, but an important one in Chile's mining story. Today, iron ore pellets arrive here by rail and make up most of the port's activity. It's the region's main export hub. If Costa Fuego goes into production, its copper and gold concentrate will likely move through the same route. The valley has its challenges, water being the big one. It's scarce, and that's where Hot Chili's Huasco Water Project comes in. Huasco Water isn't just about supplying a mine. It's about creating a broader water network for the valley, for its residents, agriculture, and for a future industry. In this region, reliable water access is a real constraint to growth and stability. Being here, you start to see how mining can be more than extraction. When it's planned properly, it can drive infrastructure and support the communities around it.
Well, we're driving to Puerto Las Losas. We're here in Huasco town, so it's just 5 minutes driving.
So this train brings all the iron ore from a mining operation of CMP that is called Los Colorados mine. And so now the train is coming back, to get load and coming back to the process plant that is actually located just beside Puerto Las Losas. Why the water is so important for Costa Fuego, especially this area, is the main reason. We have a granted maritime concession that you can see there is surrounded by a fence that was part of the commitment that the authority give us, because we have to meet some milestones in terms of building different part of what we require as a maritime concession. And that was the first step to build that fence. From a Huasco water perspective, stage 1 is providing seawater to Costa Fuego. The 3 processes that we have in Costa Fuego is the sulfide concentrator, the oxide heap leach, and the low-grade sulfide dam leach. The 3 processes require seawater. So this is the first step in the maritime concession. In the area of the maritime concession, we had an engineering company designing all the different infrastructure required for pumping the water in this point to the Costa Fuego layout inside of that polygon. So we de-risk, based on engineering design, any expansion that is required if we are not compliant for doing that. The water required or demand for the Costa Fuego projects is around 500 liters per second, and that was an estimate from the water balance that the engineering company did during the PFS.
Right.
Okay, so that's stage 1 of Huasco water. But we have a stage 2 and a stage 3 of Huasco water, the desalination plant. So for that, we identify different potential off-takers, mining companies from that sector, agriculture, the communities, and industrial companies that are along the valley. Based on an estimate of water demand that those potential off-takers we think that it will consume is around 1,300 liters per second of desalinated water. So in that sense, we have planned to build a desalination plant right there, here in this location, around 500 meters, 1 kilometer in that direction. So the current maritime concession needs to be adapted and to be extended. Expanded, because we need an input pump station, and the other thing that we need that is required is to extend the jetty or the dock, because we need to discharge the brine from the desalination plant.
Right.
Okay, and the main off-takers that we have identified are mining companies that are located in the high altitude.
Right.
So it's around, the network of the pipeline is around 250 kilometers, even including Costa Fuego as part of the off-takers. So as you can see, it's a big engineering effort for doing that.
Cortadera is where the project stops being an abstract idea and becomes something you can actually hold in your hands. This part of Costa Fuego is secondary to Productora. Its ore will eventually be moved by Robcon-style conveyor back to the main processing hub. In the current plan, Cortadera is modeled as 3 open pits and 1 underground block cave, though the team is now evaluating whether a single, larger super pit makes more sense. Walking the ground with the team, you can start to understand their confidence. The scale, the geometry, the continuity, it's all right there in front of you.
Okay, this is the Cortadera. Here's the Cuerpo 2, and this is very impressive. This is the quartz veiling in the surface, parallel to principal trend in Cortadera Northwest, that connecting the Cuerpo 1, Cuerpo 2, and Cuerpo 3 to the east. Look, is the intensity of the quartz vein is of the 10% of the quartz vein, and this essentially is the central part of the Cuerpo 2. In surface, this is essentially limonite with copper, and this part is the oxide copper.
The oxide.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see with the blue.
Yeah. This is the blue color related to the chrysocolla principal, and malachite in some part. But the principal specimen in the surface chrysocolla.
Yeah, and you can see the veinlets and the porphyry mineralization.
Quartz vein here and here, and this is the oxide copper. Yeah, essentially this is the outcropping of the porphyry vein style here with the quartz vein. This is in the deep, is related to the sulfide mineralization. When this sample, or when this essentially the vein is exposed in the surface, they transform into the oxide copper. Right. Yeah, especially with the in this body is related to the chrysocolla. Essentially, this is a copper silicate related with the leaching of this vein. Yeah.
So this rock with exposure to the weather
exactly
becomes this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Taking it a step further, recovery
Yeah.
is different.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Yeah, this maybe need more time in the leaching, because in the north the chloride is very good. It's necessary. Water move to the leaching.
Right.
Yeah, but it's good. The percentage is copper is very good, but it's necessary more time.
Yep.
Not much.
We are just in the middle of Cuerpo 2, you know, and we're looking to the north in that direction. So Cuerpo 1 is where all the mine activities right there. So Cuerpo 2 and Cuerpo 3 to the east. Okay, here we have 3 pushbacks. So each of Cuerpo 1, 2, and 3 are mining in single pushbacks.
Right.
You know, after Cuerpo 1, 2, and 3 is mined, what are planned to do in the mine plan is backfilling with waste Cuerpo 1 and Cuerpo 2 to constrain, you know, the Cortadera,
right.
the Cortadera footprint. So those are the 3 main, the 4 main mining activities: the 3 pits and the underground. So we have stockpiles, waste dumps, some mining facilities. We have a truck shop that is planned to be built here, a powder magazine. In terms of tonnage production, we have almost 230 million tons here to be mined. Just 15 million tons of oxide, okay, that goes, both material sulfide and oxide, goes to the Productora process facility.
I think a lot of investors maybe get too hung up on exactly what the PFS says. Even though it's a higher level of confidence in the engineering, there's still a lot of optimization that could be done.
Absolutely.
And that's such an important step that we're in right now.
Exactly, and that was I told you before. I mean, that's the value engineering stage that we mentioned. We had an important strategic planning session in Perth, so that's the strategy and the plan to move forward.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cortadera was originally thought to be a small oxide mineralized porphyry, but it now extends over a kilometer below surface and has almost 100 kilometers of drilling, defining a mineral resource of almost 700 million tons, which is around 2.7 million tons of copper equivalent metal. Hiding in that copper equivalent number is 2 million ounces of gold, which at today's gold prices is very significant.
Well, this is a plan view of all the surface mapping and the location of the three cuerpos. So we were located before in Cuerpo 1, so you have this, the Northwest Transfer Fault, and after that you have Cuerpo 2 and Cuerpo 3. We will see in the core the difference of the porphyries, the intramineral, the early mineral porphyry, the late, and the veining. So here in this cross-section, you have the two cross-section, copper model, and also you have the geology. This is, you can see in magenta, the early porphyry, that has like more of 5% of E and B vein, quartz vein abundance. So this carry the better mineralization, the high grade.
Great.
And also you have the intramineral porphyry, all tonalitic porphyry, you know, that is in red, and also carries mineralization. The veining is between 2 and 5%. This is the intramineral, and the late, that is mapping of this yellow, you know, and have this north-south, and also have some northwest, that is the main structures in the system.
Right.
Copper model, you can see 0.2% of copper. You have the high grade in the Cuerpo 3 of 0.6% copper. The interesting thing is the geometry. These bodies are normally tabular bodies, but you can see how large is, you know, in terms of depth. You have between the better grades until 800 meters, but you have mineralization until 1 kilometer.
Right.
And 2 kilometers in all the footprint of these three bodies with a different phase of intrusion that you can see in the yacht. And also you have these host rocks. The majority have like calcareous component, but when you have this intrusion, you have some scars and hornfels that also are mineralized, and you can see the veining going through that.
And this, you can see this bulk here. This is the block caving.
It's Cuerpo, yeah, this is Cuerpo 2. It's quarter quarter because, yeah, look, the grade is similar to Cuerpo 1, quartz veining with magnetite, and this is the important thing, especially in Cuerpo 3, this is a sea vein with chalcopyrite and pyrite.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
sexy core.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is essentially, this is the important part of the Cuerpo 3. Yeah, this is essentially the top of the high grade in Cuerpo 3. Yeah. Look, the veining over 10% of quartz veining with the chalcopyrite, moly, and pyrite, essentially the mineralization. But look, it's only essentially here disappear the host rock, disappear the porphyry, is only vein.
La Verde is where you start to see the next phase of Hot Chili taking shape. The exploration drilling is steady, cut shacks running non-stop, and trays of fresh core appearing every hour. You can feel the pace, the geology team logging, comparing, and trying to pin down just how big this system might be. What makes La Verde stand out is both its location and its potential size and grade. The mineralization starts right at surface, and the drilling so far suggests that it could be higher grade than the main deposits. If the results continue to hold together, La Verde has the potential to shift the overall economics of Costa Fuego in a meaningful way. The recent infill drilling now confirms the presence of a larger, high-grade core,
the blue sky
which is
potential.
reminiscent of
This
their
is
experience
the
at
moment I've
Cortadera,
been sort of waiting
but this
for
time
to
it's
La Verde.
located near surface.
Can you take us through the project, sort of past history, the geological setting?
Yes, well, we are here in our new discovery. La Verde was like 6 years to consolidate all this area. We have secured all the Domeico land holding and the main tenement where it's located this La Verde and the open pit last year. Land holding Domeico in April, and in October we consolidate. It's the first time that a single party have consolidated all this area. So this is a huge thing for Hot Chili. And we started last year with the soil sampling, with the geophysics, with magnetometry. And last year started with the first RC campaign with 31 RC holes and 10,000 meters of drilling. So we already recognize 1 kilometer of mineralization in the strike of northeast of where is this porphyry system. We are 30 kilometers south of Costa Fuego. We are in the late Cretaceous porphyry belt. So we have in the second hole that we drilled last year, we have an intersection of 308 meters of 0.5% copper and 0.3 grams of gold. So it has been a really exciting time for us to can recognize already this strike in mineralization. We have in depth with the RC until 300, 400 meters of mineralization recognized. And in this drilling, we recognize 3 high-grade centers in all the strike. So now we are, 3 weeks ago, we started with the second phase of drilling because the system is open.
Right.
So we are now getting deeper with diamond drilling, and also we want to see further east and west how the system and the potential that can have.
One thing that interested me is the proximity of the mineralization to surface. Are we close to surface?
No, yes, we have mineralization from surface. Actually, a big part of La Verde you have covered with gravel, but other part, the northern part not. We have mineralization since 26 meters. So we have an oxide part with high grade, like we recognize until 80 meters or 100 meters depth. And after that you have the sulfide.
Right.
This is an area that actually historically has been exploited by oxides, but not really have a lot of exploration for sulfides.
Right.
Following my visit to La Verde, results from the first diamond drill hole were released. They intercepted 529 meters at 0.41% copper and 0.21 grams per ton gold. In my view, a great intercept.
Where are we drilling right now?
We're in the 18. But this is what I was speaking, you know. All this is the land holding of Domeico, that it was really hard to consolidate.
Yeah.
And now we are here. This is the tenement of actually the open pit of La Verde where we're drilling at the moment.
And I guess talking in the whole scheme of things, we're 40 kilometers by road to Productora, where the milling operation would be. There is somewhat of a chance that this could be included in the mine plan in the future.
Yes, yes. This has a great potential to include this in the Costa Fuego hub. Yeah.
Depending of the sun, but essentially this is the porphyry and the different color here in the top.
Yeah.
This is the different alteration of porphyry.
Sure. And then so when you're getting core and you're able to see how much you're getting an
Exactly.
idea of what you're hitting.
It's the same process. We learning in the surface and apply in the hole.
Yeah.
And learning in the hole and apply in the surface.
Right.
Show the other direction here. Look, this is the other trend.
Oh yeah.
Sad. Yeah.
You're going through each set. You got a meter of core. You're taking a look at certain points to take XRF. You're taking a picture of the entire tray, and then you're going to cut half of it. Half goes to the assay lab, half stays here.
Exactly. After that, after all this process, the photography, we mark the hole and send to the card cutter, and after that, they send the lab. Yeah.
This trip made it clear just how many stories can fit inside one stretch of land. We started in Santiago, a city of movement, sound, and energy. It felt like a warm-up for everything that came next. You walk the streets, meet the people, take the funicular up Santo Cristobal, look out over the city, and you get a sense for the country's scale. But it's only when you leave Santiago that you fully understand how big the story really is. The Atacama shows you that immediately. One look at the desert and you realize how much work it takes for anything to happen out there. Productora was the real first glimpse of that. Standing on site, listening to the team walk us through the geology, sequencing, and how the deposit will feed the concentrator. And you see how many pieces need to line up. Then there's the human side, the part that you don't get from spreadsheets or drill results. In Farina, Villanar, in the schools and community programs, you see what a project can mean long before a single ton of copper or ounce of gold leaves the valley. Kids learning in new classrooms, families receiving mental health support, people who live their whole lives talking about the future they want. Mining isn't abstract for them. It's not a debate or an online argument. It's work, opportunity, infrastructure, water, and stability. Done well, it can shape the valley for generations. And that leads you to Huasco, a coastal town with a long history tied to mining. Standing on the shoreline, looking at the port, you understand why the next chapter matters. Huasco Water isn't just another project or engineering diagram. It's a plan to bring seawater and desalinated water inland to where it's needed. Farms, industry, communities, and eventually Costa Fuego itself. In a place where water limits everything, that's a meaningful shift. Hearing the team walk through the plan, the pipeline corridors, pump stations, jetties, desal capacity, and offtake agreements, you start to appreciate the scale. It's not flashy, it's practical, and it's necessary. Then there's Cortadera, walking the ground with the geologists who read the rocks like a language. You understand why they're excited. The copper mineralization is right at surface. You don't need a model to picture what's happening below. You're seeing it firsthand, and it gives you a different perspective. And Verde brings the whole picture into focus. Drills running, cut shacks active, fresh core laid out hour after hour. And you can see the point where exploration begins turning into something more concrete. You see the details, the work, and the decisions that will define what Hot Chili becomes in the years ahead. Hot Chili's story is all of this: water, land, people, and the effort it takes to build something that lasts in one of the most resource-rich and resource-challenged regions of the planet. As we packed up our cameras and left the valley, I kept thinking about the people we met. The teachers, kids, engineers, drillers, community leaders, and the folks we talk to in the markets and the cafes. They're the ones who feel the impact long after the drills stop turning. And if Hot Chili can deliver on what they're aiming to do, responsibly, transparently, and with the community at the center, then this valley could be shaped by opportunity rather than scarcity. And that's what I'm taking home from this trip. Not just copper, not just mining, but people, effort, and a landscape that forces you to bring your best. And if this trip showed me anything, it's that the future of the Huasco Valley And the future of this company is going to be worth following.